Alright, welcome back to the channel. So, you just saw I was cleaning up on the rim and the tire. I got the blue off the tire and I got most of the grunge off the rim and spokes. Of course, at this point, you know, you gotta handle these things. It's not like a regular tire. You got a big piece of white wall on there, so you gotta make sure your hands are clean. And let's go put it back in. Alright, so reinstallation is pretty easy because you're just doing the same thing in reverse. You've already done it once, just in reverse. So, one thing to pay attention to is your spacers. They have notches in them, right here. Make sure those go outside, just like that. So they're outside of the wheel. They're on, the spacer on the other side has the same thing. It's got a little notch, smaller. On this bike, the spacer is pulley side is bigger and the brake side is smaller, but pay attention to your own because they may be different. I've cleaned this axle of all the crap off of it. A nice thin smear of just normal grease, just to prevent it from corroding and help it go in and out easier. Alright. I'm going to put this semi-clean rag over the white wall here when I put the brake on because I don't want it to touch. I cleaned the brake a little bit and I did check it, by the way, but you gotta squeeze it in there and I don't want to get brake dust all over it, so we're going to push it back. Get it in its slot down here. Or not get it in its slot. There we go. And you're lubed up. Spacer in there. So it's sitting on there. Good time to go ahead and put the other spacer in. Okay, getting that spacer in can kind of be a pain in the butt when you only got one person, but it can be done. Alright, so now I'm going to set the belt adjusters basically where they were when I took them off. I can't adjust the belt till we're on the ground, so we'll just set them back up basically where they were. And then when we get it on the ground we can finish that off. So we were at just a 64th over a half inch, or 33/64 I guess. So that's a half inch. I'm going to go do the other side. Okay, we're at a half inch on the other side, so now let's finish it off by going the rest of it. Okay, got the axle nut on. I'm going to hold it over here. So I'm going to hold it like this. And on the other side, put a torque wrench on it, 65 pounds. because I can get a torque wrench on this side, I can't on the other. Check that. Okay. Okay, so letting it down is probably scarier than lifting it up. Make sure your kickstand's down. First we got to go up a little bit to release the locks. And that's why I don't like that jack. It gives you no warning and then it just goes whoop. You're going to need one of these. This is a belt tensioning gauge. You're going to use 10 pounds, which is marked on here. We're going to put it on the belt and we're going to push up, and when we reach our 10 pounds, then we're going to measure how much deflection is in the belt. Alright, so here we can see, here's the gauge you use. And it's in 1/8 inch increments. And you look through here and you see the belt when you use this little guy to push the belt up. Not that, this, push the belt up. So we're going to put 10 pounds on it. We're going to see where it comes out. And we're looking from anywhere from 5/16 to 3/8 movement, so not much. Alright, the top of the belt starts right here at the third groove. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And let's see where the top of the belt ends up when I put 10 pounds of pressure on it. And you want to be about where the gauge is. About where this gauge is. It's about equidistant between the two sprockets. Alright, let's put 10 pounds on it. And the top of the belt is, yep, about right there. So it's about 3/8. We're going from there, so 1, 2, 3. 3, yeah. Check it again. Pounds on it. That's about 3/8. Alright, hopefully last thing. We need to determine whether the wheel is cockeyed one way or the other. The way we do that is on this bike is there's a hole right here. You use a gauge. I'm just using a piece of 14 gauge wire, and what we'll do is we'll put the one side into the hole, and then we'll mark the center of the axle on this side, take it to the other side and do the same thing, and that will tell us how far it's out. Basically they should be equal or within a 32nd of an inch is the recommendation, and I just hold it in the same spot, kind of get a feel for where you're going to be, put a mark on it, center the axle, come over, do the same thing again. Okay, we look to be about a 1/16 inch out. Let me show you if I can zoom in on it enough. Okay, so here's the opposite side. I'm gonna hold it in the hole, and then I just go to where the insulation is. That's my kind of judge of how far to put it in, so that it doesn't tip at all. And hopefully you can see that we're about a 1/16 of an inch forward. So we'll loosen the axle and crank this one in a little bit, this axle adjuster in a little bit. Alright guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me through these 4 parts and seeing what a full tire change is. You can do it yourself. It's not a huge deal. My thoughts on the Harbor Freight tire changer, it works. You got to do the modifications to it though. So you either got to make those or buy those. Now they are really cheap right now. I mean, you know, 80 bucks for the whole thing with the motorcycle attachment is pretty good, but you will have to put some extra tooling into it to make it work properly. And the big thing I would recommend is mounting that thing to concrete. But anyway, guys, appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.